Welcome to Max's Models. I'm Max. Well, today we're going to compare two 1/72nd scale model kits of the Fokker Eindecker E3 version, and one is by Revell and one is by Airfix. Now, these kits, to their credit, size out almost exactly the same. They both look like they got the scale right for 1/72nd scale, and I'm happy to say that neither one of them's off scale. They both make pretty good looking little airplanes when they're done, so let's look at the particulars. Now, the first one we'll look at is the Revell kit. It's an old one. It's a 1960s mold, although this particular one was repopped in the 1980s. And it's been around a long time. There was a little bit of flash showing its age, but not bad. Not a big deal at all. All things considered, it was pretty good. And the kit comes in a regular Revell box. You have your instruction sheet, your decal sheet, and two runner trees that are bagged, and it does come with a pilot. Both of these kits come with pilots. The Revell pilot's extremely basic, but that's what you expect from a 1960s mold. When I opened up the kit, one of the things I was interested to see, and this is actually really nice, is that the fuselage comes largely in one piece. The bottom is a separate piece, but the sides and the top are all molded as one piece, so you don't have to worry about hiding any seams on top or fitting it. Made building it a breeze. It was actually, I don't remember the last time I had a kit like that. And now the pilot and the cockpit are devoid of much in the way of detail. Again, 1965 mold. But that didn't really bother me because you really can't see anything in the cockpit. It was a pretty snug fit. So if you're going to make the airplane without the pilot, you might want to try to scratch up a little detail or something for it. But I think most people put the pilot in there. And the parts were okay. Really nothing to report on them. Everything fit fine. One thing that was interesting is that the wing is one long piece with part of the under fuselage holding it together. That made construction very simple. And the horizontal stabilizer is one separate piece also. That was actually quite nice. I like that. The little minor issue fitting a couple of the cowling halves together. Not a big deal at all. I wouldn't call it finicky or anything. It was just the parts are very small and I got big hands. But I went over the parts, cleaned up. It really didn't take 5 minutes to clean up. I talked about a little flash, very little, and pre-painted them. Started putting the thing together. There's just not a whole lot to report. It goes together. Now, the one thing that does take a little time and attention is the undercarriage. It's a little tricky, and since your instruction sheet's just a couple of exploded diagrams, that could be better. But it took me a few minutes, but I figured it out, and it went together okay. And a lot of times I don't rig 1/72nd scale biplanes with an Eindecker with only one wing, with the rigging post on top and everything, and the relative ease of doing it. You really should. And I used Easy Line, pre-drilled some holes. Unfortunately, the old decals, even though I had pre-drilled holes in the styrene, when I put the decals on there and tried to poke through, they kind of flaked off a little bit. But I got it together with no real complaints, and it looked good. One little complaint: the wings, even though I tried to bend them back up, they kind of sag a little bit. Just probably old styrene contracting a bit. So I probably should have heat deformed them or something. I thought I could get away with just flexing it. They stayed for a while, but then they went back to their shape. But not the end of the world. So as soon as I got it together, I took some insurance photos, then I rigged it, and then I went and took the pictures. And then I got started on the little Airfix kit. This is a 2018 molding of a 2016 mold, so it's a much newer mold. And as a result, it has a little bit more detail. It has but when you open the box, and it's one of Airfix's end opening boxes, you get your bag with two runner trees, your instruction sheet, and your decals, pretty much the same as you had on the Revell kit, except the back of the box has a really nice color palette for you to use to decal, and it has all the instructions right there for decaling the kit and how to paint it, and it's a nice kit. The one thing I was surprised though is they actually had two fuselage halves that seamed along the top and then the bottom. So whereas Revell had two pieces, the 3-part top and just one part on bottom, the Airfix kit you have to glue the sides together, which seam at the top, and then put the bottom on. So that was a little bit more, not a big deal. It also got a few more parts for the cowling area. Of course, they're slightly better detailed also. One thing that surprised me is that the horizontal stabilizer was molded into the belly piece. That was a little interesting. Okay, I mean, not a problem. It was a little warped, but it was easy to straighten out. And the other thing that kind of surprised me was that it has a fully equipped cockpit. It's got a seat and a control stick, and I was just okay, and that's nice. It has a nicer pilot also, but you would expect that from a much newer kit. But it went together without any arguments. Of course, you do have that seam across the top now you have to contend with, but it's sealed up very nicely. The engine and everything has a little more detail on it. It actually has, inside the cockpit, you have a fuel tank and stuff. I was kind of impressed with the detail. Of course, that's more to deal with, and if you put the pilot in, you can't really see it, but if you leave the pilot out, you can. And the landing gear on it was more robust also, which was nice. So it had its advantages, to be sure. It also had a 2-piece wing. They went into the sides and they locked in place fine. In fact, unlike the drooping wings on the Revell kit, these actually, because a part of the leading edge fits into each side of the cowling and gives it a nice lock, a nice brace. So the wings went on very well. It's a great kit. I'm very happy with it. And once I got it all together, of course, paint it, rig it, all the usual stuff. The fuselages were virtually identical in dimension, so kudos to both of them for getting that part right. And once the model was together and painted and everything, I was like, okay. The only thing was the decals, which are very good, but they, unfortunately, when I drilled them, they flaked just like the old Revell decals. Again, I had pre-drilled the holes in the styrene. It's when I poked the holes in the decal that they kind of flaked off. Probably in both cases, something I could have done that might help mitigate that was once the decals were on, I should have just used a lot of Solvaset and then maybe clear coated them and then poked the holes in them. And that would have probably mitigated some of that. So a little operator headspace and timing there. Both of them make great looking models and they look good in the pictures. They look good on the shelf. The Airfix kit, of course, is a little cleaner, a little sharper, but it's a 50-year newer mold, so you would expect as much. But quite frankly, the Revell kit held its own. So there you go. A vintage Revell Fokker Eindecker E3 versus a relatively new Airfix Eindecker E3. Hope you guys enjoyed this little comparison. You take care of yourselves, and as always, model on.